If we're not mad now, when will we get mad? That was the late Darrel Carey.
Peace, Oakland. Today we dedicate this episode of Gotham, Oakland to the memory of a beloved man of our city, Darrel Carey, who passed away and left us on July 1st, 2025. A champion of Oakland, Darrel poured his heart into uplifting Black-owned small businesses and strengthening our community. Though the mainstream press may have overlooked his passing, his legacy speaks volumes, a life lived in service and love and in quiet, unstoppable determination. We stand here today not in mourning, but in deep gratitude for his light, his commitment, and his belief in us all. Joining us today, I'm honored to welcome a longtime friend of Kerry's and a shining example of that belief, District 7 City Council member Ken Houston. Ken and Darrel shared decades of friendship and work in the heart of Oakland. Their connection runs deep, and Ken would share with us not just stories, but lessons from Darrel's life that continue to inspire. Before we go any further, if you value hearing and honoring voices of Oakland that truly matter, please like and subscribe. Together, we'll make sure that lives and stories like Darrel Carey's never go unnoticed in the city. Now, Darrel wasn't someone that I knew personally. I may have met him in passing, but I don't remember if I did. But speaking with people in the business community about the hole that he left, especially in this interview that we're going to see today with Councilmember Houston, I thought it was very interesting that we saw nothing about his passing in the media and no public obituary or even a mention of his legacy. We should do better about honoring the lives, especially Black people, and I'm talking about Black people. We've got to do better by each other. We've got to uplift each other up more, and we need to support and honor our lives and lives well lived, especially our heroes of Oakland. So let's get on to the interview.
Do it. If we're not mad now, when will we get mad? That was the late Darrel Carey. Do it.
So Ken was pushing, when we came in, as soon as I seen him, somebody's car broke down. First thing you see this brother doing is pushing someone's car. So we took a little tour of the garden, checking around our lower bottoms up community garden, checking out the ghosts and whatnot.
We got the beet, we got the tomatoes, we got the rosemary, we got the chickens. What's up, chickie? I love Chester, Rhode Island Red, man. That's fresh eggs. I bet you guys selling them eggs, man, or eating them fresh. Hey, chickie. So what's up? Thank you for inviting me to West Oakland, Seneca Scott. I'm here on 8th and Peralta. Matter of fact, my history, Seneca, started from West Oakland. My grandfather came in from the train station to work at the Naval Supply Center. That's what they used to call it, right? And then we migrated to the east. But my roots are right here, Seneca, in the West, right here, from the Acorn Projects to Wood Street. That's where my mom raised us, and then they moved to the east to try to get a house in San Leandro. Guess what? Didn't let them buy it in San Leandro, so she bought it right on the border. So I've been from the west to the east. So I'm back to the west. Feels good to be in this garden, and thank you for bringing me here. So what are we talking about, boss? Darrel Carey, yes, sir. East Oakland, it was called the East Bay Small Business Council. The East Bay Small Business Council. He started it, and he fought. He fought for local businesses. He fought for Black businesses. This man right here started me in the political arena. I would not be standing here talking to you. I would not be a council member if it wasn't for Darrel Carey. So back in East Oakland, on Permain, Pippin, and 105th, Darrel was a pup. And I used to hang out with his brother. You know, his brother got murdered in the streets of East Oakland, and I kept Darrel under the wing. Then Darrel moved out. Then Darrel started doing political things. He did something with Nancy Nadell. He did something with Elihu Harris. You know, he was in the political arena. Then one day I needed a permit. Had my ponytail, had my ponytail.
What year was this?
Oh my God, this was 18 years ago, Seneca. I went down to see. When was Jerry Brown? When was Jerry Brown mayor?
1998 was the passing of Measure X.
When was Jerry Brown mayor?
Yeah, 98.
It was 98, because I went down to City Hall to get a permit, and Darrel was in the courtyard, And he said, Ken, what you doing down there? I said, Mom, I need to get a permit. He said, let me walk you around. Walk me around, introduced me to Larry Reed, introduced me to everybody, right? When he introduced me to everybody, what I did after that, Seneca, is that I went up to the permit department and he introduced me and showed me the process. When he showed me the process, I was like, that's how I get down? Is that how we do it? He said, yes, even easier than that. Let me show you. Build your relationships. He said relationships are everything. And from that day, I started building my relationships, and that's where I'm at right now. The man showed me, took me by my hand.
When was your first office run before we get back to the life?
Okay, 2014, I ran for the mayor of Oakland. Knew I couldn't win. I knew I couldn't win, but I wanted the experience, right? That experience is more important than anything, right? Because I always lead stuff off of Seneca, my personal experience. You'll hear that. If I don't touch it, you'll hear that. You'll say my personal experience. So I ran in 2014, didn't win. I knew I couldn't win because I didn't raise the money, right? But it gave me the experience. From there, Keith Carson took me to China. Barbara Lee took me to Cuba. Desley Brooks took me to Africa. It's from running because I had enough courage to do it. Some of the things that affect the small businesses right now is because of Darrel Carey. People don't understand what Daryl did. Relationships. What he did was, remember Tim White, the school, Oakland Unified School District? Yeah, Tim White. He was the superintendent, right? Daryl had a relationship with him, and what they did is they created the 50% local participation with the Oakland Unified School District that the city picked up, and that's why the 50% local participation is in Oakland right now for small businesses. That was Darrel Carey. That was him. That's powerful because that changed the whole paradigm on how small businesses are treated. Seneca, 50% local participation was because of Darrel Carey started that with the Oakland Unified School District and Tim White. Late Tim White, he passed away from cancer like 6 years back. He was so passionate about his community. He turned down money, bribes, and everything to fight for his community. And without a person like him, we have a void of him standing up. Like you. You know how you stand up? You don't care what comes your way because you stand on right. That's what you stand on, Seneca. You stand on right, right? And that's what Daryl stood on. He stood on right. Everybody knew when he came, you got a problem. No, you had a real problem because he couldn't be bought. This is what's one of his sayings. I could be rented, but I can't be bought. That he used to always say that. In my mind, you'll hear me say this on the diet sometimes. If we're not mad now, when will we get mad? That was the late Darrel Carey. I always say that to people. If we're not mad at the conditions of our city, when will we get mad? So we have a void of leaders like that. People usually compromise. People compromise. I don't compromise. You know, he never compromised. He always fought for what's right, even if he stood by himself. People tried to bring him down, you know? People try to, but they didn't know what fabric he was built from. He was built from East Oakland 105th, and he was built from the deep east. His fabric was hard. You couldn't break him, right? You could not break him, but people tried to break him because he was never compromised. He never compromised his dignity. His integrity was never compromised. It was always for his people. My mother and my oldest brother is his cousin. We're not blood, but we don't have the same fathers of his cousin, right? So I never knew he wasn't my blood cousin. So when we used to go over Grandma Mary's house and stuff like that, I never knew, right? So we grew up as cousins. Me and his brother Lee Kerry was thicker than thieves back in the day. Daryl was always the youngest. We always used to send him to the corner, go get our potato chips, man, get out of here and go do something. He always was community oriented. You always saw it. He always did things in the community for the kids. He even went down to Katrina. When Katrina happened, he went down there to help. How many people do things like that? He left here and went down there to help when Katrina happened. So this gentleman, this soldier, will be missed by many. And there are always individuals that are silent heroes. And it took you, Seneca, to bring awareness to this silent hero because nobody else mentioned it, right? I didn't even mention it. I mentioned it on my Facebook and posted one picture, right? Because it hurt me to speak about it until now, right? But you are giving the silent heroes a voice, and I appreciate that. See, I have some of his flavor, but people don't know where that flavor came from. If we're not mad now, when we'll get mad? They always say that we don't have the talent. They always say they don't have the contractors. They always say this. They've been saying this for 28 years, the same thing. When will we get the talent if you don't teach us? When will we get the experience? That's been an excuse 28 years ago. That crap is old. I don't want to hear departments say we don't build the skill sets. We've been saying that for 28 years, Seneca. That's some bull crap. And I'm going to call it what it is. It's bullshit. And I'll say that on the podium. I'll say that at the forum because it is. We need to give and build. We got kids dying on the streets, right? That we have all these opportunities. We have building. Oakland is on the come up. And we want to put them in place now so when it does, they're ready so we don't hear the same thing, Seneca.
Powerful interview from Brother Houston. I had a good time showing him around the garden. So if you watch this interview and you're still here on this episode, please like, comment, and subscribe. Share this with 3 of your friends. You know how this goes. And be inspired by the life of Darrel Carey. Be inspired by people like Darrel Carey who are in the political arena fighting for what's real, fighting for what's right. Oakland is on the come up. There are lots of things to celebrate about Oakland right now, but there are lots of things that we need to work on. If you love something, if you truly love something, you can't watch it suffer and not say something about it. You can't watch it decline and die and not say something about it just because it has potential or promise. It doesn't work that way. We need to be honest about what's going on in Oakland, California. We need to empower those who don't have the political agency. The people who are suffering the brunt of these failed policies are the ones who vote the least. They're demoralized, they're apathetic, they've given up and they're not voting. We've got to wake them up, we've got to get them to the podium, we've got to get them in the political arena. So peace, as always, I love you, take it easy out there, be safe, Oakland. The best 2 months of Oakland, California, in my opinion, September and October, right around the corner. So get ready to have a really good time. Watch out for your neighbors. Do all the things that matter. And I'll see you back here tomorrow for a very special episode of Gotham, Oakland. Heart-wrenching. One of the hardest interviews I've ever had to do was talking to the people you're going to be seeing right here tomorrow on Gotham, Oakland. So I'll see you back. Peace.
Yo, I swear it's only up from here. Yo, I swear it's only up from here. Yo, I swear it's only up from here. Yo, I swear it's only up from here.